On the crisis that we know is Covid-19. It's the pandemic that's affecting almost everybody since last year to now. It's basically a sickness that attacks the lungs, and people with pre-existing conditions are most likely to suffer. But if we just look at the word COVID-19, what kind of feeling does it conjure up to you, I would ask? Just by knowing what's going on, we already have a lot of mixed feeling, negative connotations to the word. And if we look back at the beginning of the last year, do you remember the feelings that we had? Remember the panic feeling or fear at the beginning? You know, when stores were sold out of certain items, such as toilet paper, rubbing alcohol, sanitation wipes. You know, even some food are being taken out of the shelves. The shelves are just empty if you look at that time. So it's really an unbelievable crisis, and it had really a deep psychological burden on us right from the beginning. And we can look at now with 6 feet of social distance, sometimes the city lockdown or the curfews, or you have to wear mandatory face mask where in the supermarkets. You know, although it's all good for us, you know, but it's really has a psychological feelings that's being driven. So I don't know what kind of feelings we were feeling regarding to the COVID, but you know, personally, I feel distant with a lot of my friends. I also felt sad for the people it harmed. I was confused in the beginning about the origins and how much impact it had on every country, according to the news. So too many people are affected daily, according to the CDC. Just looking at the sheer numbers, it really had a feeling of bleakness and helplessness, you know, to general public. So not to mention the number of stores were closed. Traveling abroad has really been restricted. Just all these things could really have cause anxiety attacks and maybe depression if things continue. So one article said the effects such as stress, social isolation, uncertainty, and feeling of loss, that these experiences could really hurt individuals' mental health. Another research found like 45% of students across 7 universities experience high risk of psychological impacts from COVID. So almost everybody has been impacted by COVID somehow. whether it's a severe psychological symptom such as depression or anxiety or general decreased happiness. We would have to deal with the psychological effects by COVID. And that's where my paper about coping strategy falls in. So there's some types of positive or more suitable coping strategies that deal to regulate our emotions regarding to emotion stress, such as anxiety attacks and depression. So these some type of mechanism that we can be applied, such as releasing pent up emotions, finding ways to release your anger, your frustration, distracting oneself, talk to your friends, read a book, take a class, finding something more productive to do also help. Managing hostile feelings. If you have pent up emotions, sometimes turns hostile, and you have to deal with it. You have to release it somehow or resolve it. And you can do it through meditating, some type of mindfulness practice. So whatever you do, you have to find a coping mechanism. So sometimes being empathetic, that comes with, if you're somebody who's being affected, you're more empathetic towards others. You're more concerned with other people's feelings, because it's like, oh, me too. So you kind of get each other. So anyways, it's difficult to see the upside, and it takes effort to see the bright side of things. So it's, according to the psychology professor in UC Davis, and she said that we have to practice or train to counteract the negative stress and emotions. But I think it's really important that we find certain mechanism that help us deal with the negativities that brought about by COVID. And just something we have to do daily, probably. Thank you.